This is FIBA Podcast. Thank you for joining us in our morning daily devotion.
One disciple of the Lord Jesus, who has often been criticized for being weak-kneed and for denying Him just when the pressure was on the Lord Jesus, was Peter. Peter has been spoken ill of in many sermons. But when you look at Peter, you're actually looking at yourself. The authorities of that time were at Peter. And there was a very simple question which was asked to Peter. Are you part of this group? Are you part of this gang? And we find that in John chapter 18, that Peter denied knowing the Lord Jesus 3 times. The very same Peter had been with the Lord Jesus in all that he had done. He had seen the miracles. He had seen the power and authority that came with the Lord Jesus. Yet, in Peter's heart, he could not understand why the Lord Jesus was unable to show that power and authority at that time. Maybe Peter didn't know really at that time that the crucifixion was on, that death was on. And he was looking at preserving himself. Sometimes I have thought that night Peter must have been full of regret in his heart. He would have kicked himself, feeling very low self-worth, that he had denied his master. And yet, when we move from John chapter 18 to John chapter 21, from verse 15 onwards, we see the same Peter talking to the Lord Jesus. And the Lord Jesus, not condemning him, but looking at him and saying, "Look, Peter, I'm giving you an awesome responsibility. You will feed my lambs." And then he says, "You will tend my sheep." Then he says, "You will feed my sheep again." And then finally he says, "Follow me." You know, that is who the Lord Jesus is. He restores in a very personal way. Peter's bad example in denial then made Peter the rock on whom the church was built. To me, it encourages me that even if I have goofed it up or I have not been able to be as consistent in declaring Christ, in being consistent in not being, in saying who I belong to, it really does not matter, because ultimately Christ restores me. And then He makes me strong. And then He makes me bold, because the Word tells us, and history tells us, that Peter died a very gruesome death at the time of persecution. All because the Lord Jesus restored him. He could walk up and become a powerful witness for the Lord he had once denied. The Lord Jesus restores.
Dear listener, we are here to stand with you in your time of need. We want to pray with you and for your prayer request. Do you need someone to talk to? We are here for you. Call us or send a message at +91 636 425 2164 +91 636 425 2164. God bless you.